Good morning, everyone. It's Marla Copal, the Vitality Mentor. And today our topic is about how do we have resiliency in an opinion-rich world? So we can have our opinions about whether opinions are rich or not, but my gosh, aren't opinions just flowing around us like crazy? They are. We have them on Facebook, we have them on Twitter, we have them on Instagram, and hey, I post all my opinions out there too. But what we don't have is a good sort filter. So I'm just going to share with you some interesting things that triggered this thought today, and then things for us to look at and things for us to really pay attention to before we get overreactive. So first of all, I read an article today in the Denver Post, which was just brilliant. And so I highly recommend all of it. And there was a Dr. Sasson from Denver who has gone to New York for a 30-day experience, I guess, to work with the COVID and patients in dire straits and to see actually how do you manage within a pandemic. Well, kudos to her. I just think that was outstanding. And so instead of, as a doctor, trying to listen to these things filter into Colorado, she went to the hotbed, and she has young children at home. And she didn't tell her family, didn't ask for their approval. She just went after she got accepted. And she's an emergency room doctor. And she says, you totally see something different here that you don't see in emergency rooms. And she was the one who had the expression that we are living in an opinion-rich environment with a data-free zone, meaning there's no data. There's no data on this virus. There's no data on most pandemics until they're over. So she decided to go into the hotbed and to understand what it is that she could bring back to the state of Colorado and the city of Denver to help with this. Well, the one thing I picked up out of that I liked about her resiliency in choosing to do this was she's looking ahead. This is not just one pandemic. We will have another, and we will have another, and each pandemic will have a different name. We had a flu situation in 2017. We had another situation with, in 2019. And people are always trying to put models together about how do you manage in these. And then I heard on the radio the other day, one of the county commissioners from El Paso County here in Colorado, and who has many, many years experience in putting together models for emergency situations with NORAD. So, there are people out there in the world that are constantly modeling emergency situations, whether it be flood, whether it be fire, whether it be a pandemic, whether it be a national war emergency. And then they come back with that evidence, and then they see how many people did this serve, how many people did it not serve. So, those people are rich with information, not opinions. And so always when I'm paying attention to my own resiliency and my own opinions sometimes, is I try not to box myself in the corner with what I'm thinking. It's like, oh, you're thinking about it that way, or oh, you're thinking about it that way. I like to hear all the perspectives that people have, but at the same time, I'm not going to take the opinion of my neighbor as gospel. I'm going to go find some quality resources that I trust. And are they available? Don't know, but I might have to find 2 or 3 of those and marry them together. So in an opinion-rich world, we have to be sure that we are getting data. If not, we're living in an additional data-free zone, and we're going to drive ourselves nuts. We're going to overreact. We're going to be crazy. We're going to be impatient. We're going to blame. And all of that will not serve us well later. So, I had a situation in my life once, and I was explaining this to somebody else, but where I had to wait. So my husband was at sea. This is in the 70s. He was on a tuna fishing boat as part of a Marine Mammal Protection Act. He had to take, he was definitely, there was no communication with us. I wrote letters and told him what days to open them up for a whole 90-day period. Well, in that time frame, who knew that my mother would get ill? She would pass, and I couldn't call him out on that boat. So he's already lonely. He's with all Portuguese fishermen who are not speaking English. He's observing dolphins in their back downs. And I couldn't call and tell him what occurred, even though I wanted to. And then, just like any military deployment, he came home and I had to wait another 30 days before I could tell him that my mom had passed. So she's gone almost 2 months before I get to share this news. When you withhold information like that, it works on you emotionally. But sometimes it's okay to withhold an opinion when you're in a pandemic. Just take care of the basics. Take care of what you need to do. And that actually is resiliency because it's a demonstration of patience. So I know we all want to get out the door, and a lot of us are excited that some of the regulations are lifted. But I think we have to be expecting that we will still have people getting ill. There will still be exposure to COVID. And so that we all want to go out the door smartly. And smartly means have a mask, still have your sanitizers, wipe down your areas, limit your opportunity for exposure. Because if you don't take care of yourself, no one else will. And so we're still in the oxygen mask stage, just like the airline attendants tell us. Put your own mask on first, and then go ahead and then you can help others. So if any of us are of the opinion that we don't have to take care of ourselves anymore because it's, quote, all done, we're going to put ourselves into some situations that we don't want to put ourselves in. So now the other funny thing is, I can't tell you how many people are posting on Facebook all the time. Did you get your refund? Did you get your stimulus check? Did you get this? Did you get that? That's another opinion-rich environment. There's a couple of different systems within the IRS. If you are receiving a refund normally from the IRS, they have your bank information and they can send that check to you very, very easily. But if you're someone who pays into the system, you might be receiving a check because they don't necessarily have that account information. They're two separate funnels. Now, I'm not explaining that well, but I'm explaining it in as basic a terms as I can to have people stick home. That phrase, stick home and chive on, is like here. There is no consistency within that system for us to get our checks. So quit trying to look at why they got it and you didn't. It is nothing you did wrong. The system will get there. They told us it might take until October for everyone to get their checks. So as frustrating as that might be, if you're really one of those people that don't need the money, then don't go put that stress out in the community. And if you're someone that really does need it, well, I hope you get it really, really soon. But I want you all to understand that everything we hear about the pandemic, everything we hear about the stimulus checks, everything we hear or is written in the paper, it's opinion rich, but not necessarily including any data. So look for the data that you need, not the opinions, and you'll be the most resilient person you've maybe been in a long time. Because Facebook, Google, news, Instagram, Twitter, hey, I play out there, but I gotta tell you, sometimes I just have to laugh because that stuff that they put out there, it's like pretty amusing, and it is an opinion. So if you could go through Facebook today and just look at how many of those things are opinions, and I'm going to post one here in a minute that I think is kind of funny, but I want you to know that we'll keep living. We'll keep having our challenges. We'll keep having our struggles. There'll be no right answers, but stay resilient. Come up with something new. Please quit reading stuff and driving yourself crazy. If all you do is stay calm and stay sane, then maybe the thing you have to do is to turn off some social media at least 6 hours a day. So this is Marla Gopal. I'm the Vitality Mentor. I want you to live your life with enthusiasm and not opinion. And I want you to stay in touch if you need to. So you can text me, text Marla to 64600. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Vitality Mentor, and let me know how you're doing. Stay in touch. And for heaven's sakes, everybody, let those opinions roll off your back. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.